Excuse me. So, I just fixed the camera and I checked and then I was like, I'm gonna do the video. And then now that it's sort of focused, I'm just gonna do the video. So, welcome to ThurFrisday, Villainous Times, July 6, 2012. Um, Being a nerd is the topic. So, most people are way better at being a nerd than I am. Mostly I was a nerd in terms of gaming because I was such a social outcast. I'm not in terms of nerd because I'm super amazing at math or graphic design or reading code or anything of value to the nerdom world. Other than validating it via verbal confirmation, which is what I'm doing right now, because kind of like what Big Bang Theory does, I guess, something like that, is that being a nerd, in whatever capacity you find yourself, though you are labeled as such, does not mean that you have to live under that mold, so to speak, and that mold being like under the prejudice, under the conception that you are a certain entity within society because you've been termed as such, being a nerd. I'm a nerd, which most people would agree with, but that doesn't mean that I have to live within the said labeling description. And this pretty much goes towards any description of any label out there, so emo or goth or you know, what else is another really good one? Overly pretty or blonde or, then we can go into racial stereotypes: black, white, Hispanic, import, Chinese, Hispanic, anything really. People may term you as such, mixed race, child or baby or marriage or whatever, but you don't have to live under that stereotype. And one of the reasons that I do these videos is to break those stereotypes, because people who think that someone is as such because they've been called as such by other people means it should also be true for them. But some people might not see me as a nerd and they might not call me a nerd, so therefore, am I a nerd anymore? No. I was never really a nerd to begin with in the term of their term. My term for it would be I'm just a human being living in the human condition. So happens as much that I love to play video games with other people because I'm an introvert and because it gets me outside of myself without going anywhere, because I really don't want to spend any money to go anywhere because I don't really have any extra money to go anywhere in the first place. So anyways, don't let people tell you are something because they've labeled you as such, and then believe them, and then live within those set boundaries of their labels for their own comfort and compliance. Do not submit to the authority of the ignorant and the people who are placing you under certain terms and societal images, because their paper personality perception of the podium being themselves puppets is silly, because their life projection is to own a certain amount of stuff and then do the same thing over and over every day, whilst on the weekends or evenings mocking people that they've already labeled for the rest of, from the beginning to where they are now in their life, to continue their own comfort level, no matter how inconceivably, unfathomably silly their life is, serving their debt monetary existence that they'll never actually own anything or be content with anything. Just like I was never content with the number that I reached when I was super sick and ill, because it's a game, a mental game that should not exist, but it does because of labels and perception and prejudice and bullying and all sorts of unfathomable illegitimate and unadvised mental habits that people have. And what it all comes down to is comparing. Um, Comparing was brought to you by the devil. He compared himself to God, and there you go. Look what happened to him. So compare away. Have a great time. See where that gets you. Bye.